Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, or good to be seen by you. Welcome to today's episode of Comments from the Peanut Gallery. And you know what I have with me today? Look at this. Yeah, I brought something with, because I didn't want to just try and quote it, because I might get it not quite perfect. So I'm going to try and pack this in as tight as I can. All right. I am in Revelation chapter 13. We are a month away from the election. See my hat? We have an election coming up. We're a month away. And it says here, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy." Players in the book of Revelation. Okay, players, but what are the players? We have, through this book, as you get towards, we have stuff that's going on. I think we're living in the midst of some of the stuff right now. But in this whole equation, we have the whore Babylon that shows up. We have 7 heads. We've got 10 horns. We have a beast. We have a beast that shows up in here. But what's what? I'm going to try and put it really simple and plain. Say just what I think. This is my opinion. I think the 7 heads are 7 continents. Okay? 7 heads, 7 continents. If you put these things in and then look through here in Revelation, to me it makes sense. So 7 heads, 7 continents. Okay? And the 10 horns, that's talked about a lot. What do you do with the horn? Do 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 do. Hear ye, hear ye. Okay. It's what you present or broadcast with. We have, on this planet, what are the top 10 news media outlets? How do they get their income? Where does it come from? They deal with the merchants of the earth and all the money and the shipping by sea. And those things are talked about extensively in this book here, okay? Talked about extensively. And we have been given enough clues where we ought to know what stuff is. I think this is 7 heads, 7 continents, 10 horns, top 10 news media outlets worldwide. Just look at the money that they make, and it all comes in from the merchants of the earth and commercials. And if you notice something about commercials, they'll play commercial from one side, one competitor to another. There is no fidelity at all amongst commercials and what is broadcast. And it's kind of like, oh, it's the whore. There's no fidelity in a whore. There's no fidelity in a news broadcast station either. You might see a Biden commercial and 20 seconds later see a Trump commercial. And then 20 seconds later you see, and it goes on and on and on. There's no fidelity there. There's no fidelity in a whore. Okay, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So then, but what is the beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns? The beast, I believe, is carbon. Carbon, 666. 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6 electrons. Okay? This beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns, you can't buy or sell stuff. Especially you go to California or something else, and all this stuff that is done on the basis of carbon. We're trying to be ruled, the people are trying to rule the world, or we're being ruled by carbon. The Paris Climate Accord and all of that stuff that Trump has got out of now, that we don't want to get back into it because we don't want to be ruled by carbon. And there's riots all over the country, burning stuff to the ground. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But I am not going to get real windy here, hopefully. I want to just say that if you take these things and plug them into this book, Revelation, if the carbon, 666, the beast that has 7 continents in the top 10 news media outlets worldwide, and this news broadcasting thing, there's commercials where there's no fidelity at all in the horror, and there's no fidelity in the commercials and all of the advertising stuff and the media stuff. And the one One thing that I really appreciate about Trump, I appreciate a lot of stuff about President Trump. I really do. Whole bunch of stuff. Lots of it. One thing that caught my attention right off the bat, he was willing to call the news media out for what it is. Liars. Liars. And Satan's kingdom is nothing but, Satan's kingdom is ruled by the chief liar of all time, Satan himself. And the top 10 news media outlets, they're just doing what they see their daddy do. So, here we go. So this is it. Enjoy the journey. And know this, that as you look through this book, we win. The sons and daughters of God win. Sons and daughters of God. His offspring. The new birth is real. It is a real thing. You have that comes with the new birth. You have an inheritance, the DNA of God in you. Make use, good use, life and godliness use of the DNA of God in you. It will change your world. And know this, we win. Through the new birth, all men are created equal, and we win. Okay? Enjoy the journey.